My name is Steve Shearing. I own the Amsoil Snocross race team. We've taken the Amsoil products to the extremes and they've delivered every single time. Last race of the season at Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, one of our drivers was out in front, got rear-ended, broke the heat exchanger. We lost all our coolant the second lap of the 15-lap main event. Our driver was able to finish the race in a top 5 position with the motor still running. The good thing about the Amsoil products, it's so constant. You know, we have the exact same performance results time after time after time. For more than a decade, we've been winners with Amsoil.
Welcome to Sledhead 24/7. I'm your host, Misha Johnson, and today it's a Sledhead Roadshow. We're checking out some of the biggest and best dealerships across the snowbelt, and right now we're at Bristow's in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and we'll be hanging out here later in the show. But first, our cameras zoom into the high-flying action of the Monster Energy Slednecks Invasion Tour. Now, while it's hard to turn away from these guys, remember that these are professional stuntmen and they rehearse these stunts with scientific precision. They should not be imitated. But with that said, take a look.
In the world of snowmobiling, there are trail riders, ditch bangers, snowcross racers, and then there's these guys. These fearless freestyle athletes take a 500-pound sled and do the impossible. This week on Sledhead 24/7, we get an exclusive, in-depth look at one of the pioneers of this adrenaline-fueled motorsport.
Hi, my name's Paul Thacker. I am a Monster Energy Slednecks team rider. How did I get started? Boy, that's an interesting question. I born and raised in Alaska and have been riding snowmobiles pretty much my entire life. Before I had a driver's license, it was our mode of transportation. In Alaska, you can't really ride your BMX bike in the wintertime. Snowmobiles was it. When I was probably second grade, and my folks bought me a skateboard. And I rode it for about an hour in the driveway, and I was like, this thing is dumb. Nobody's ever gonna ride these. Why would I even, why? And I put it away. Now I ride in the middle of winter, and I do backflips on a 500-pound couch, and I could have been a skateboarder. Yeah, I think I missed that boat for sure.
So how did Paul Thacker get started in the business of defying the laws of gravity?
I had no intention of ever becoming a freestyle rider. One day I just decided that I was going to do a backflip on the snowmobile. And as a kid growing up, I could do backflips on the trampoline like it was my job, so it was no big deal. First attempt, I got completely upside down and I grabbed the brake because in my mind, that's what it was telling me to do at that point, you know, being a racer. It didn't work out so good. Second time, did it, stuck it. So and that kind of, again, that started the beginning of the end.
Watching the Monster Energy Slednecks Tour, it's clear that the hungry fans are anticipating one trick in particular, the awe-inspiring backflip.
Backflipping a snowmobile is different than anything else you'll ever do on one, for sure. You kind of have to forget for a split second everything you've ever been taught about riding, because it goes against everything that you've ever been taught about riding. Every time I do a backflip on a show, I have a little conversation with God every time I roll in. Like it's no joke. It's you know, I've landed upside down and the scars on my face are from a backflip. So that didn't go so well. Nearly killed me one time, so I respect it very much.
From backflips to heart attacks, can-cans to Supermans, the trick list for these daredevils is endless. But for Paul Thacker, there's one feat that he just can't get enough of.
I always enjoyed the jumping part. That was my favorite part. And I always liked seeing everything a little bit different. I liked turning the double into a triple or the triple into a quad and jumping a little bit bigger than everybody else was willing to. I wanted to do exactly the way flat ground, ramp to ramp, the way the dirt bike guys did it, so that we would get the same respect and recognition. So if you don't make it, you're not going to the hospital, you're probably going home in a bag kind of deal. The year before last we did the jump at Canterbury, it was really windy and I actually crashed twice, which I've never crashed doing distance stuff, and very, very fortunate obviously to walk away. But not only to walk away, to get up and do it again till we set the record. It's kind of a unique feeling and opportunity to have a chance to be the best in the world at something. It's almost, I can't still wrap my head around it. I feel that I'm pretty fortunate in my position to be able to do it. No doubt there's lots of guys that could do it, but to be the guy that actually did it and did it first, that's pretty cool. You know, I've always been, make a joke that I'm more scared of being nothing than I am of being hurt. But it's kind of true, you know. Everybody wants to have some sort of legacy.
To find out where the Monster Energy Slednecks Invasion Tour is going next, log on to isocracing.com.